Dum, da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I didn't know if you were gonna.
No, you won't.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. I'm Jessie.
I'm JJ.
Cheers. Today we're gonna do how we met video.
Yeah. We're working on these transitions. I think as we go along, we'll get
they're not
better.
so
We're not doing too well.
But anyways, I want to do this video because that's just something you always ask somebody. Like when you have a new couple friend, you're like, how'd you guys meet? It's a fun little story. And I love watching these videos on YouTube because I'm nosy.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, they are interesting. They're a lot of fun to when you talk to people. I think people are just intrigued by that because you know, especially if you're single or whatever the case. I mean, it's sometimes fun to hear, like, you wonder if you are single, how is it I'm going to meet someone, supermarket, or how's this all going to go down?
yeah, sometimes
when intrigued.
Sometimes when I was single, I feel like I used to watch YouTube videos to see how people met to like give me new ideas.
Right. I mean, to us, God works in mysterious ways. You could meet anyone at the supermarket reaching out and grabbing the same box of cereal. You don't know. But I think one thing that human beings are fascinated by is just hearing other people's stories of how they met and seeing how they grew together and now they're either married or whatever the case, And it's just interesting. I mean, a lot of times it's one of the first questions you ask once you get to know someone is, how did you guys meet, And a lot of people like talking about those things because everyone has a story, and stories are fun to tell, and they're fun to share with other people. So we figured before we got too far into our channel and maybe describing some of the things we feel are laid on our heart to do, we want to kind of show you guys who we were and kind of explain how we met too.
Right, so let's see if you guys can guess where we met. This is a Christian channel. What do you guys think? We obviously met at church. I started going to this church like in April of 2016, and I noticed JJ, and I was like, dang, that guy's cute. He definitely kind of motivated me to go to church a little bit more. And you always noticed me, right?
I did always notice Jessie. I noticed Jessie the first time she came in.
Dang right. So we always noticed each other, but then I started dating somebody, and then like toward the end of that relationship, I was talking to my friend Cindy, who actually got me to go to that church, and I was like, man, I don't know if there's any like real Christian guys out there. There's a lot of people that just say they're Christians, but like a real follower. And she was like, oh, that's funny you say that because, that guy JJ from church actually thinks you're really pretty. And I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I was like, I didn't even know he knew who I was. So I was like, oh my gosh. So she was like, yeah, and he said that if you were ever single, he like wanted to take you out. So can I give him your phone number? And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm not really ready to like get back in the dating thing, but I'll just give him my number and like maybe we'll just be friends or whatever. So then she called it JJ.
And
right after she got off.
What did you say in the other video? You said something about maybe being too good to be true or something.
Oh yeah. Then
I don't want to forget that part.
I always told JJ, like I said, I wasn't really ready to start dating, but I did think JJ was like too good to be true because he was like always in church like worshiping, and he was also like a hottie. So I was like, well, I don't want to like lose his opportunity, so I'll just call him anyways.
Yeah.
And then so right after I hung up with Cindy, I was like, you can give him my number. She called JJ.
Yeah, and so it was funny because I think a week or two prior to that, Cindy, we were all at a church leadership thing, and Jessie and I were both there. And before that, I heard from my buddy that Cindy was trying to kind of maybe link us together, and it was kind of, obviously wasn't the time because Jessie was still dating, and it wasn't the right situation, but it was kind of funny because you kind of sensed that was what was going on. And so nothing really, of course, happened then because obviously Jessie was taken. But then it's, a week or two later, Sydney calls after talking to Jessie, and it was funny because she was almost playing matchmaker with pretend words. She was saying she was making me sound desperate to Jessie and vice versa. So
yeah, because she told me that JJ's always like wanted to take you out. And
yeah.
He's like, oh, like he as soon as you were single, he like wants to know. Which he never said.
Which I didn't say that. I mean, it's not what wouldn't be that I wasn't thinking it, but at the same time, I never told her that. And sure enough, so when she calls, she just says the same thing to me. She just kind of makes it sound like Jessie was, waiting for me to ask her out and thought it was blah 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 and the greatest guy in the world. And so the first time we hung out, I mean, I had.
That was him brushing
Yeah, if you guys couldn't see us brushing my shoulders off, I felt like I was $1,000,000, and that was because Sydney made it sound like that was the case, which, and both of us were thinking, you know, we obviously had attraction for each other, but it was really funny, kind of looking back in hindsight now, how she kind of finagled the situation for us to be able to go out with each other first time. And so 2 days later, I called her and pretty much told her I'm available any day.
Yeah. So Cindy gave him my number. He called me a couple days later, left a voicemail. I was like, hey, it's JJ from church. Like, I was wondering if you wanted to get coffee, like, you know, maybe tomorrow or the next day, or even the next day, just not on Monday because I have hockey. So I'm like, dang, this guy's definitely not playing hard to get. So we ended up meeting for coffee and hung out for a couple hours. And that was kind of it. I mean, the first definitely was not perfect. The first couple months were kind of interesting. JJ was kind of playing hard to get.
Well, and Jessie she always thinks I was playing hard to get. I don't think I was playing hard to get.
He just didn't give me a lot of attention.
Because, and to my defense, the reason why I didn't is simply because I was in this position where I was thinking of moving, and I was going through a job interview process that ended in December, so 2 months after we started hanging out. And if I got the job, I was going to have to move to California. And so I didn't want to get stuck with the ultimatum of, okay, I'm really liking this girl and now I'm leaving. And, you know, I have to choose between moving and getting this awesome job or this awesome girl back home. And to me, it was like, I didn't want to and I was afraid that situation was going to come up. So I was kind of playing close to the vest. Not meaning I wasn't showing Jessie that it wasn't like I was not showing her I wasn't interested, but I was more processing everything to make sure that I wasn't going to hurt myself, Jessie wasn't going to get hurt, and this whole situation could go as smoothly as possible. And now, in hindsight, I didn't get the job, which is a blessing, but
it ended up working out great because we ended up just being friends for the first two months.
Yeah, and so you look now, and Bible says in Romans 8:28 that everything happens to good for those who love God and are called according to His purpose. So even sometimes when we're distracted or have roadblocks or whatever, road bumps in the way, God can use those for good. And I think this was actually one of them, because it distracted me to the point where I didn't want to involve either of us get too involved, because I was afraid that I was going to get the job and leave. And so because of that, it meant we were just friends. We didn't cross any boundaries. It was like talking to your best friend. And so now I look and I say that could have been a huge blessing, because I was really solid with God at the center, and then being friends all intertwined. It really set a good foundation for what we think we have now. And so huge. I mean, I think I look back now and say that was God working through that. You know, I think that was just something that kind of allowed us to establish a good friendship before anything. And yeah.
Well, our whole relationship in general is like definitely a God thing. The whole reason I started going to that church was because I felt God told me to talk to this lady at a coffee shop who invited me to that church, and then she ended up telling that lady, or that lady Cindy said that she felt like God was like telling her to put us together. So then she kind of pushed us together, and it's crazy how those things happen.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
So that's our story. That's how we met. We got lots more to tell you guys about our relationship, because we've definitely done things in some weird ways. So look forward to that.
Yeah, and again, as always, please tell us things that you guys want to hear, or any insight you guys have. We're here to serve, and we want to be the best vessels we can. So please tell us what you'd like to hear or anything like that, because we're all looking for it. So we're all your ears on the board.
And by the way, I keep looking down because we have Atticus here. He's kind of distracting. He's our baby boy.
He's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's a big handsome boy.
So that's our story. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will talk to you very soon. Bye.
Bye.